How you doing, Super Coaches? Round 4 is over. It was a bit of a sad one, the ending of it anyway, given I was at the game last night and it started raining. I was very much hoping for some Tanvi Sanger points from his bowling. He was just about to bowl before they come off. Very frustrating for those who saw me and my brother, my cousin, on TV. Thanks for the messages on that one. That was funny. We're mid-pie on that one. Lucky I wasn't mid-bite. But yeah, let's get into my potential trades for the week and then go through the round that was, and then sort of some potential plans and trade targets coming into round 5, given us the Stars week. And my main issue here is that I went with Stars too early and they were pretty bad. And we kind of knew this was going to be the case, but we didn't think guys like Sam Harper would absolutely shit the bed. That's for sure. Webster 0 last week. I did end up with a good score from Tommy Rogers. I did play him for the 71. Just outdid that of Darcy Short, and I did trade out Fraser McGurk with his high break even. So yeah, didn't work out perfectly on that front. Probably should have got rid of Richo or Zamps in the end. That was a funny one with Richo being out for this game, so I reversed that one thankfully to Zampa. I had just enough to do that, which worked out. And I picked wrong with Tall Paul over Overton. The theory was get Walter this week and then get Walter last week and then get Overton this week, which I'm still getting Overton, just at a much higher price, and didn't get the score, unfortunately, on that one there. Matty Short had a low one as well, so he has a fairly high break even coming into this one, but does have the big double next week. So there's plenty to look at here. Obviously, the massive score from Samsey with the 172 without bowling in the second game. Got some runs, which was good. Maxwell, probably going to be the clear vice captain or captaincy, depending on how many guys you have as loopers. Obviously, Connolly, if you're bringing in any of like an Inglis or a Crawley or something like that, then you could use them as a couple of loopers as well to vice and then potentially captain. But on the captaincy side, it's going to be very hard to go past Maxwell with 2 games, given they're the only team on the double this week. And then you'd be picking guys like Overton, guys like Matt Short, in their single games, Daniel Sams as well. These are potential options there as well. My trades this week, I'm looking at, I was looking I was going to have to get rid of Sams, but I think in my third trade, I was looking at Amid Wasim, who is going to be a really, really good purchase this week for the Stars, which we'll pop in there and have a look at a couple of those guys. So the guys that are about really good options over the next few weeks, obviously the Perth guys, the Stars guys for this week, and then the Adelaide guys for round 6. So we'll pop all those options up and talk through them there. So I was going to get Wasim, but that would leave me with 6 Stars. Unless we see anything different tonight with selections, I could keep Tanvir Sanger in my side and likely trade out Steckity or something like that instead if he doesn't get picked. Or I can't really do too much with Harper given his price, but I suppose with him, the thing I could do is probably get Chowdhury. That could be a thing. I don't know if that'll be enough, but yeah, that's where my thoughts are around with Spencer Johnson trading in or Nikhil Chowdhury, just to get a little bit of extra cash in the bank, because I'm looking at next week, and that's the reason I couldn't get Wasim, is that I would have 6 Stars then, and then I would have 3 strikers, which is a lot. Obviously, there's 6 Stars, and then a couple of Thunder Boys as well, with only so 8 guys out heading into next week, and then 3 trades available to have 5 out. So I have no looping capabilities, and I'd need everyone to be playing. So we can't have that happen. Going a little bit lower with Spencer Johnson, who's heading into a little bit of form now, bowling more overs and bowling quick at that. So Spence comes in, he's going to be a bit of a looper, obviously, which is going to be good. Him and Walter, the 2 heat guys there with Billings, and they're going to be used as double guys in round 7 as well, along with all the Scorchers and any Hobart Hurricanes that we look to potentially grab in that week there. So with the thought into next week is where I'm looking at here. So Webster is going to go at 193. I think he'll be down about to 160s. I'm hoping that is somewhere in about a 170 range, and he kind of scores pretty well in this game, given he didn't bat at all last week and last round and bowled 1 over. So if he can lose somewhere around that 25k, I think I'll be fairly safe to be able to trade him and do what I want. Tom Rogers, he's the next guy. He's got a low break even there of 32, I believe. Yeah, so 32 over the 2 games, which is good. So hopefully he gets somewhere around that 60 odd at a minimum. That would keep him on keeping on with his average. And if he does that, then I'll make enough money there to be able to get up to what I want to. And then we have other options down here as trade outs. Daniel Sams is going to have to be the guy after this week. He has a low break even at 26, but he could also miss that as well. So if he goes above that, I'm completely sweet. So if he goes above a little bit or holds, then Rogers goes above and makes sort of 5K or so, and then Webster only goes down 25 to 30. I will have enough to get Aaron Hardy. It will then be Zach Crawley, and it will also be Andrew Ty at 151. And then Crawley down below, who hasn't got as many points yet at 91 with his one good score. But he's someone that could explode. Obviously, at 138k is very low compared to the other guys. I won't be able to get a Barendorf, unfortunately. If I had more cash available, more of my players are actually doing well, then that would be cool. So that's where Spencer, I think it gets me pretty well close to this sort of range, sort of that anywhere between $500 available and 10k, depending on how everyone goes. So that's the scary, riskier option. Given that I don't want to trade, given that I think Spencer Johnson can come in and have a really good double game. Where Nikhil Chowdhury, unsure of him at the moment. He scored really well, but he's batting really low and not bowling. So I don't really want another one of those guys in my team that, yes, helps me out with some trades, definitely. But if I take this risk, I think where I'm at the moment, I only gained 50 ranks last week, got an 844. So leave me at 1400 at the moment. So still a lot of room to move. And I think making this move here is going to give me a chance with Spencer Johnson to have a sort of a blinder of a week and have him as a loop guy. But then, give me a chance to still get the guys that I'm looking for in a Hardy as a potential captain. I suppose at worst, if I couldn't get Hardy, I could get Barendorf at 202, given, if it's that 5k difference. Maybe that's the thought, that I try for Hardy, and if I fall short the 5 or so K, then I can get Barendorf. That's probably the decent thought on the run here that I'm going for if I can't get Hardy there. But obviously he's scoring a little bit better than what Barendorf is, and usually has the double chance with the bat and the ball there. Interesting thing to note there is that the Scorchers come up against the Adelaide Strikers in both of those games. So the double that they play is against the Strikers in both of them. So one at their home ground in Optus, one at Adelaide Oval, which will be interesting. So usually pretty good batting decks, but obviously we know what Barendorf can do anywhere. So yeah, that's something to note there. So I think that's where I'm going to be at with those trades at this stage, and I'll muck around with captaincy and stuff later. So let's hit complete on those, and we can move things around if we need to. The main thing with Bancroft was that he had a really high break even, and I can't afford to lose any more cash, unfortunately. So let's see what the projected score looks like if I put Maxwell as captain. 857, so that's not too bad at all. And then Sammy Harpo, he would come straight in for Inglis anyway, and then it'd be sort of Paulie Walter in for Zamps, just to see what that looks like. 893, and then Stecker's in there as well if we want to use him. I'll probably put the emergency on him, to be honest with you. I'm not too excited with how he's going to be looking, unfortunately, at this stage, just with the quality that he's been throwing out, that's for sure. So Billings short, it's probably Darcy short time, isn't it? And we've got the looper there with Connolly as well. So yeah, that's where my team's looking at. Let me know your thoughts on what you would do in my situation. It's not great at the moment. As I said, 1400 overall. And yeah, so in the Podmasters League, there's some guys that are doing really, really well. Jake there, I think, is into 66 overall or something like that. So he ended up beating me. There we had a bunch of guys in sort of the mid 800s. Dr. Kando, so yeah, Kane, who runs the Podmasters, at 924. Wiki ended up at 908 with, I believe, a fairly interesting one, given I don't think he captained Sam's. Yeah, he ended up vice captaining Hale, so he didn't miss out on too much in the end, given Hale's got to finish things off, and Sam's didn't get to bowl, so kind of worked out for him a little bit. But Fraser McGurk in there, Davies the 53 was okay, played short. Had Tom Rogers and Sutherland as fairly low ones as well, and had Chowdhury on the bench. So yeah, some of these guys now just have that good of team value and can really push into getting a lot of good players. And if they haven't made too many mistakes like I have, sort of that one a week for me, which is frustrating, they can do really well. But so you've had Glenn here that had a bit of a tough one, a few sort of 828s, 793, myself with 844, and a few. I beat sort of 6 or 7 guys in the head-to-head comp, and other guys got into the 900s, which is really cool. Adrianosaurus there, I think he's in the 50th overall, which is incredible. And last year's winner there, Andrew Langley, is into 80th spot. So an absolute freak, impressive work from him. So that's round 4. Looking into round 5, my matchup there, I think I'm sitting about, what am I sitting? 8th? what is it? 10th. So not too bad. Gives me a chance to sneak into the next level there. We just need to come up against Joey, who's not actually playing at the moment. I don't know what happened with Joey's team there. But my team, I come up against fake Maxi Bryden. So he's going to be a tough one to beat this week. But hopefully we can sort things out and get into a really, really good position this week with a few good loopings. Obviously with Inglis there. With Connolly as well, we have a couple of chances to loop and then see what happens with guys like Harper. He should be playing just because he's the keeper, but every chance he should get dropped. They got Dan Lawrence coming in. Hopefully, obviously, Tommy Rogers keeps his opening spot, but I think Sammy Harper is going to end up down low, sort of 6-7 range. Unfortunately for him, for those that are looking at potential trade-ins, obviously, the Stoinuses are there as an option, but he has been scoring so bad. I wouldn't be looking at him. Ahmad Wasim is the top star to target this week. Obviously, Maxwell, then him. I wouldn't be grabbing Webster. I don't think it's worth it at this point, given the price, unless you have a lot of room to move and you've made a lot of cash at this point. It's probably something to steer clear of. And then, stars, I think they're done. There's a chance that Steckity comes back in, given Harris Ralph and Osama Mir are out. So those that have them are going to have to trade them out, obviously. And then looking at the fixtures there, you got Adelaide coming up against the Stars in that first one. So guys will be looking to loop. Obviously, Darcy Short, which we've got in that position at the moment, which is going to be cool. Matty Short, I don't think is he worth looping? Probably not. But I suppose it could be just one of those things where you pop, you got Maxwell as captain there, so you just pop him as the vice, and then you just pop the you basically have Connolly as the captain straight up, and then you have your man Matt Short as a emergency there. But for me personally, I think if Steckity's playing, he's going to sit in that emergency spot. To be honest, just have no faith in him as well. Guys like Sam Harper, I think I want to put in the emergency slot as well. If he doesn't go well, then I'll just move Billings up to Inglis, and he can have a game, which will be fine. I don't have Philippi anymore, so just going with these three at this stage. That's the kind of thoughts at the moment with the looping strategy. Let me know where you're at coming into this week with loops as well. I hope you guys go well as well. I think we'll leave it at that for this one. Have a cracking New Year's Eve. Enjoy the match tonight. And then we do have a double on New Year's Day, the 4 p.m. match against with Hobart and Thunder, into the 7:15 straight after with the Heat and the Sixers. There is a little bit of rain potentially around, especially for the Heat one against the Sixers. So if there's any further thought on that, I may end up moving Johnson just straight to Chowdhury. Once I look into that a little bit further, and if it's looking pretty bad, there was one of the Supercoach guys put up a thing saying that one's not great. And then the last one is a little bit of a worry as well. The Stars up against the Renegades. So, if you're loading up on guys like that could be a slight worry with the Stars. Obviously, you have 5 already. So, I think that's plenty. That's enough. I don't see many people having more unless you still have a trade boost up your sleeve heading into round 6 that you could use that there. So, good luck with this week, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.